They've been in the news, on the streets, and rallying at the Capitol. For the past 3 months, every Thursday, teachers on Oahu have been out waving signs in neighborhoods around the island. But why? What is their point? Well, as it turns out,
teachers in Hawaii actually, if you look at both cost of living and comfort level, are the worst paid in the nation.
That's according to the National Education Association, and it's creating a situation that teachers like Corey Rosenlee at James Campbell High School in Ewa Beach say is unacceptable. The beginning teacher in Hawaii can make as little as $33,000 a year, according to the DOE, enough to qualify them for food stamps if they are married with a dependent. The median salary was around $48,000 in 2010, before the increase in healthcare costs. And when adjusted for cost of living, that was only the equivalent of about $30,000, according to Honolulu Civil Beat. And with the added costs of student loans, teachers are finding themselves having to leave teaching just to pay the costs of their teaching programs.
Now that I'm out of grad school, my student loans are due, I literally can't afford to pay them. So I'm already looking at other opportunities that will compensate me for the degree that I have and the money I put in to receive that education.
I'm going to have to leave teaching because I simply can't afford to stay in teaching. I can't afford to pay my student loans with the level of education that I have.
In fact, every 5 years, 56% of teachers in Hawaii either leave the state or the profession. And the students in Hawaii have to make do with the constant rotation of less experienced teachers. Areas with comparable costs of living like New York City and Chicago pay teachers 1.5 to nearly twice as much as what Hawaii's teachers make. We contacted representatives from Governor Abercrombie's administration, along with other state representatives, to get their side of the story on this issue, none of whom agreed to be interviewed. Just recently, the Hawaii Teachers Work to the Rule Association, headed by Corey Rosenlee, held a rally at the state capitol to try and gain support for a new idea.
What we're asking for is something called the Penny for Education Act. And this would raise the general excise tax by 1 penny per dollar. And this would bring in $500 million. So basically you could start to fix some of the problems that are really facing education in Hawaii.
Whether a tax increase is politically feasible in Hawaii is still very much in question. But that's a fight these teachers are willing to have for their own survival and for what they see as the sake of their students. For HIKI No, I'm Cameron Tyndall.